These were ways I was raised in my teenage years that would send a lot of you into a coma. Starting off strong, y'all, I had a camera facing towards my bed for about 5 years, and all of my siblings had the same. My parents would check it like pretty frequently, so I had zero privacy. It didn't matter if I was changing or doing anything, didn't matter. Zero privacy. If I was changing, I would always try to like change behind like my closet door so they wouldn't be able to see me, but it was directly faced like towards my bed. They would always be like, oh, it's for like safety, or we just want to see if you're going to bed on time. Girl, what? Another one, I didn't really have a phone for like the longest time. My first phone was like a flip phone, and I got it in 6th grade, but I think I got it taken away. And then I got like a 5S, but I think I got that taken away after like 3 weeks. And then I got an iPhone 6 in like 9th grade, and then I got it taken away all the time. So many restrictions. I think I literally had 30 minutes on text messaging. So you can imagine like the amount of apps I had on it and what apps I was allowed to have. So no social media. I didn't get social media, I think, until my senior year of high school, and it was only Instagram. If you haven't guessed by now, I was raised Mormon. I've lived in Utah my entire life. My parents raised me and my siblings like super Mormon. I personally am not Mormon anymore. No hate to anyone that is. I just personally do not like the religion. But my parents raised us to dress super modest, like overly modest. My sister and I were not allowed to wear like plain black leggings. So for my dance class in junior high, we had to wear all black. Like, it was a requirement. And one of them, like, we had to wear black leggings. So my mom got me these ugly black leggings from Old Navy. They had like mesh and then like gold sparkles on like the bottom. And to like fit in, I would like bring them to school and I would change into them, but I would turn them inside out. So like you couldn't see the gold sparkles, and I'd wear like oversized like hoodies with them because I just wanted to fit in. God forbid a girl just wants to wear her black leggings. Like, God. This may come super shocking to y'all now that I came out as gay, but I was so boy crazy. Like, so boy. I was constantly going behind my parents' back and, like, having a boyfriend, and so they would find out. So I was grounded, like, all the time. It was mainly the only thing I got grounded for. I don't think I got grounded for anything else. I was a really good kid. I had, like, straight A's, never got in trouble in school. I had pretty good friends. I was a pretty good kid, besides, like, going behind my parents' back and, like, yeah. I had this one boyfriend, like, my end of junior year and going into senior year, and I told my parents about it, because I was just like, whatever, like, maybe they'll get over it. And they did. They ended up finding out that we had sex and flipped their shit. They almost made me quit both of my jobs, almost took away my car, almost took me out of public school, like, craziest time of my life. Another one was they were, like, super crazy health freaks, so we had, like, no snacks in our house. Actual almond household, not even pranking you when I say this. They are the ones that drink raw milk. They are the ones that think that regular milk is horrible for you. So now when I eat Oreos or anything like that, I'm like, I'm ruining my body. I just gained like 30 pounds. Let me know if y'all want a part 2.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my rules that my parents had for me as a 18-year-old. Some of them they let go now, but so some of them were when I was like 17, but I'm still going to share them. Okay, so this one was changed. So I used to not, on like weekdays and school nights, I used to not be able to have my phone in my room past like 8. So, and then once I turned 18, they changed it to 12 because I'm done with school. So they recently just changed it, and it's 11:33 right now. So that's why I have my phone in my room. So basically with that one, I just have to go charge my phone in the living room or like in my parents' room, or it can't be in my room like at night or like when I'm sleeping or anything. And then another one, this one is still in place, which it's whatever, but on weekends my curfew is 10:30, and then on weekdays my curfew is 7:30. because my parents work in the morning and they like to go to bed early, so I have to be home before they go to bed. And if I'm not home right on the dot or before, my phone will be gone for a month. Okay, and this is just kind of like a, I don't know if this is for other people. I can only have one sleepover a week, and it could only be on the weekends. I can't have sleepovers on weekdays, and I can only have sleepovers on Fridays to Saturdays, and I can only have one every other week. And my parents are allowed to say no, because on Sunday we go to church, so I can't have a sleepover Saturday to Sunday because I have church. So if I like go to someone's house or anything, my mom has to text their mom before I can even go. Like their parents have to, or their mom or dad, anyone, their parents have to answer before I can even leave the house to go to their house. And my mom has to know who else is there, what we're doing, how long I'll be there for, and like their mom or dad has to be home. I'm not allowed to go to anyone's houses without their other parent home. And my mom will normally call them too, just to make sure like it's actually their parent. It's a little crazy, but. And then if like someone sleeps at my house, they're also not allowed to have their phone. They're not allowed to have their phone in their, like, in my room past my curfew. So like they have to put their phone upstairs or wherever, because I'm just not allowed to have electronics in my room. So like with this is kind of like a car, like my car rules. So with my car, I'm not allowed to drive people in my car. I'm only allowed to have me in my car. And if my mom like finds out I had like other people in my car, she'll take my car away. And then if someone else is driving me, my mom has to physically talk to them, like make sure like they're a good driver. Like she like watches them like drive in, drive out, like listens if they have loud music or anything. And if it's like, if she thinks they're a bad driver or whatever, she will not let me drive with them, and she'll just make me stay home. I'm only allowed to drive my car to school and home, and then my sports and back. If I'm going like anywhere else, my mom has to like approve. Like if I don't tell her, like she has to like, she can tell me yes or no. So this is like kind of, I feel like it's just like everyone's rule. I don't know. I'm not allowed to drink or smoke or anything until I'm at the legal age, and my parents find out, I will literally be grounded for life. Another one is my parents go through all my social medias. They monitor all of them. Like they have like all the accounts in their phones too. Like they have my Snapchat account password. They have my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, literally everything, and they monitor everything I post. And if they don't like it, if it has swear words or anything, like if they don't like it, they can delete it themselves. They also have like my text messages connected to their phone, so they can see all my text messages that anyone ever sends me, or I send anyone. We're only allowed to watch, I'm saying we, like me and my brother, so we're only allowed to watch 2 hours of TV every day, and we can never go past that. And if we get caught going past our TV time, then they'll just take TV away for a while. So I don't have a boyfriend, but if I hang out with a boy and they come to my house, we literally have to sit on like opposite sides of the couch. Like we're not allowed to sit next to each other. We're not allowed in my room like at all. We have to sit upstairs like with my parents, and we're not allowed to share blankets or anything, like any of that. And if I go to his house, my mom will call his mom and like make sure all the same rules apply, but normally she doesn't let me go to boys' houses anyways. So that's like most of them. If you guys want to hear any more, just let me know and I'll make a part 2.
Rules my parents have for me as a 17-year-old that would put other teenagers in a coma, I think. So first, my phone, my Apple Watch, and my computer is typically not supposed to be in my room. Every single night I have to plug it in downstairs. My mom lets me get away with it though, but my dad, no. Most of the time before I spend the night at someone's house, the like person I'm staying with, their parents have to like text me. My parents will like call them to tell my parents that I will be there and that I'm not somewhere else. The door to my bedroom isn't allowed to be shut unless I'm changing. Otherwise, there's no other reason my door can be shut, and if it is, I can get grounded. If I spend the night anywhere, most of the time I have to be home by 9 a.m. Sometimes even earlier. It honestly just depends on if I have something going on, but the time I have to be home by like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I'm also not allowed to go out more than like 2 nights a week, and I can't go out like nights in a row each, like multiple times. I don't know. No, that's normal. My parents make me pay for my gas, and I pay for my car bills. It is not very convenient, but it is what it is. I have a lot of rules, so if you want a part 2, just let me know. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys.
Rules my parents have for me as an 18-year-old, a freshman year in college. Number 1, to start off strong, we have drinking. In high school, every single day, my parents were always home with them, obviously, and there was no drinking. But now that I'm in college, they require that every single night at 12 o'clock, I send in a video of me breathalyzing and blowing a zero, so that way I don't drink. Rule 2 is my phone. They have full access to see anything I do on my phone at all times and can delete contacts, apps, texts, whatever they want. And they can see my search history, everything like that. 3, they have a Ring camera on the front door of my dorm just so they could see who comes in and out with me just in case. So I don't like that one at all. Rule number 4, they don't let me grocery shop on my own, so they buy all the groceries for me and ship them to my dorm, so that way I don't grocery shop at all and I can't pick anything out. Rule number 5 is every single friend that I have and that I want to hang out with, they have to meet over the phone. I go to school in Florida, so they have to call them or FaceTime them to get to know them. And yeah, those are all the rules for my parents, so.
I'm doing my face.
You're not going with makeup on your face. I promise. I'm not doing it every day. And I meant what I said. I'm not, no man. We go to the drive-thru.
Strict or sheltering parents can create insecure kids. This might not be the case for everybody, but this can be the case for some. So I was having a conversation with my mom a few months ago, and I was telling her that, like, my parents weren't necessarily strict, but they were sheltering, and it wasn't horrible, but it was enough for, like, me and my siblings to be very dependent on them. And I was telling her that I just don't feel like I can do everything that I want to do. And she was like, well, you have a car, you have the time. If you want to go do something, like, get up and go do it. And I had to break it down to her and tell her that it's not that simple. I had to tell her I went my whole childhood being made to feel like I could not make certain decisions by myself. I went my whole childhood feeling like I had to get y'all's validation and approval for every single little thing, and now I don't trust my own decision making. So it's not about being able to transport myself wherever I want to go. It's about the fact that no matter how old I get, I still feel like a child because I felt like I was never given the opportunity to trust my own discernment. And I was trying to tell her that that has had an impact in every area of my life. And I'm not a parent hater, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to make them feel bad for stuff of the past because, there is no guidebook to being a parent. However, I was trying to get my mom to understand it's not that easy. I've spent most of my life thinking one thing and having to do things a certain way that by the time that I became an adult and I could kind of do more on my own, the desire to do it was gone. It's almost like I feel like I'm living in a bubble, and I know that I'm not. I know that I could do so much more, and it's going to be up to me to do that, right? But what I'm saying is that living in a certain kind of confinement for the larger part of my life, it's hard to break out of that. Like, a problem that I'm currently facing is, like, some people want me to teach them, like, social media tips and stuff, and I've done it before, but, like, one-on-ones I'm very insecure about because I feel like I know nothing, even though I know something. I feel like no matter how much I know, it'll never be enough because I don't feel secure in being able to be a teacher to somebody. But I don't know. I just needed to get that off my chest.
Okay, I love you too. Bye. Drive safe. All right. Who's got the drinks? I'm Andrew, and I grew up with strict parents.
And no more location.
Aren't your parents gonna get mad at you? I mean, probably, but what are they gonna do? Come get me? I chose a college 5 hours away from home just because it's close enough where I don't have to fly, but it's also far enough away where I can pretty much do whatever I want. So when's the party started? Bro, what do you mean? It's only 2 p.m. Man, you know what they say is 5 p.m. somewhere, plus I gotta make up for my high school days. This is why strict parenting doesn't make sense. Their kids have never tasted freedom, so once they actually do, then they just go crazy. That was a crazy night.
Bro, it is 3 a.m. What have you been doing?
I don't have a curfew anymore, so I've been going on adventures.
I know it's a college town and all, but everything's still closed. Why are you out at 3 a.m.?
Ah, dang it, I missed another quiz.
What do you mean? Have you not been doing your homework?
Well, back in high school, my parents would make me do my homework, but since they're not here to tell me to do it, I just kind of forget.
Hey, Drew, wake up. It's class.
But my parents are here. I don't have to. I don't have to.
If you had strict parents growing up, I just know you mad tactical. When was the moment of realization to you that you actually is mad observant, mad tactical? Because when you have strict parents, that whole strict parents raise sneaky kids, it's not even sneaky. I just know how to move around and kind of cheat the system. I knew I was tact when I knew exactly which step creaked. To get to my front door, you have to like walk down some steps, but the steps I have to walk down is right above my mother's head. So she would hear if I creep downstairs. But look, if I memorize every single part, I know exactly how to move my body so it's not to the point where she could hear it creak. And I could do it in the dark. I would do all types of shit like hold the door, lift it, slide, just so it didn't make a slight noise. Like, I'm not strict, but I would raise strict kids just so they could know how to do certain things. Like, I would be fake strict. I would purposely be like, no, just to see how they could do shit. Like, oh, you learn something, did you? You learn how to maneuver. And then having strict parents helps you think like somebody else. Because when my mom used to hide my stuff, I used to be like, damn, where would I hide this thing? And I would think just like her, and boom, it would be right there. So it taught me how to think in somebody else's shoes. I wanted to get what I wanted. What did you learn growing up strict? Like,
so the other day I was talking to my mom about like habits I've developed being an adult growing up with strict parents. And I feel like parents don't really understand that the way that they treated us when we were younger, that shit stays with you even when you're, God knows, like 50 years old. And one of them that she thought was so mind-boggling and funny is the way that I'm able to like refresh and like delete my apps and delete evidence off of my phone so fast. She's like, I used to take your phone all the time. Like, I never found anything. And I'm like, yeah, mom, because you know what? Before you would even step on the stairs, I could tell by your footsteps how far you were, who you were, and I would start deleting everything. Forget archiving conversations. I would just wipe them from my phone. And now she goes, what? Like, you didn't have to do all of these things? Like, I wouldn't even have said anything. And I'm like,
strict parents raise sneaky kids. And I was one of those kids, so I'm going to share with you guys some funny ass things that I used to sneak around when I was a kid. And I know you guys are going to ask me, yes, my parents do know about this because when they kicked me out, I kind of just told them everything. All right, first up, I was one of those girls that would make like my boyfriend drive further than where I lived just so like my parents wouldn't see me get out of his car. Anytime I would buy like a crop top or something with short sleeves or something that was ripped, I hid them all in my locker and I would literally change at school. I was literally a transformer. This one time, actually, I had a stash of like La Senza and like Victoria's Secret underwear and bras and stuff hidden in my closet. And then I come home one day and my mom's like, what are these? And because I've just become so good at lying to her, I immediately start laughing when I see them. And I'm just laughing and I'm like, Mom, you can't think those are mine. Literally gaslighting her so hard, being like, Mom, that's not even my bra size. Like, those are so big. My boobs are so small. Like, it could never fit. So I'm like, oh, Mom, those are Tanya's. Like, she just wanted me to keep them at mine because she didn't want her parents finding them. And then my mom was like, why are you being so sneaky about it? Why didn't you just put it in your underwear drawer? And I was like, Mom, why would I put it in my own underwear drawer? I didn't want you to think that it was mine. Oh my God, this one time we had this like high school dance, and the only reason why I was allowed to go was because I told my mom that I was like running it, like I was part of the committee or whatever. And then I did have like one shot that night, and I'm guessing the smell just kind of stayed. So when I came home, my mom immediately smelled me. Like, she always did that. If I went out late, she would always smell me when I came back home, and she's like, you smell like alcohol. And my heart literally drops. I'm like, what do I do? So I was like, no, I don't think I smell like alcohol. I'm like, I know other people there were drinking that night and we were kicking anyone drunk out, so maybe their smell got on me or something. And she's like, nope, it's coming from your face. And I'm like, and I was like, I don't know how else I would smell like alcohol unless someone put something in my drink when I left it on the table. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, what if someone put something in my drink? And then I start crying and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, I'm gonna go to hell. God is gonna kill me because I drank. Am I gonna go to hell, Mom? Like, I didn't know. What if they put something in my drink? And I'm like freaking out. And she's like, oh, no, don't worry. Like, just go take your makeup off. I take my makeup off. I like rinse the shit out of my mouth. And when I come out, of course, she smells me again because I know her. And then she goes up to my desk and she smells my Maybelline Fit Me foundation. And she's like, I think it was your foundation. Guys, this right here saved my literal life. This is why I use this foundation every single day. I'm like running out. I need to get a new one. That's why I used House Labs today. But yeah, my life literally flashed before my eyes that night. I think the reason why I got away with so much of this was because I was such like a good kid, in the sense that like I was doing the best in school out of everyone. Check out part 2 for more.
Out-of-pocket things I used to have to do to get around my strict parents. My dad barely ever let me go out, so one day I decided to pull a reverse Uno on him and I snuck his phone. And I downloaded Life 360 on it so that I could see when he goes to work or comes home, so I could use that time to either sneak out or sneak people in. Luckily, he's an old Asian dad who isn't tech savvy at all, so he had no idea what was going on. Oh, how the turns have tabled. We're from Minnesota, but my sister used to date a guy from Cali, and my dad did not approve of it at all. But we wanted to take a trip there to see him, so I had to convince my dad that I had a school field trip to Washington, D.C., and that my sister was going to be my chaperone. I made a fake waiver for him to sign. I photoshopped pics of us at the White House. I even photoshopped plane tickets and had them printed at FedEx, so they had that like paper glossy finish. And it worked. We were in Cali. He did end up finding out later on though, because someone over there knew him and snitched on us. Every time I wanted to stay out late with my friends, late as in literally just past 9 p.m., I would have to jump out the window. So imagine hanging out with your friends, then having to go home at 9 p.m., go inside, say hi to your dad so he knows you're home, go in your room, pretend you're sleeping, then jumping out your window and walking to your friend's place just to meet up with them again and be able to hang out late. That was so dumb and dangerous. I was so young and I had to do that all the time. Like honestly, strict parents don't achieve anything but raising sneaky kids.
For those of you who are curious or may even need ideas, these are some of the ways that I used to get past my strict parents' rules. My current boyfriend and I had started dating when I was still living at my parents' house, and because I wasn't allowed to like actually go on dates, I would take my little sister clothes shopping and she would ask my dad for money, and then him and I would meet up at the mall and then do our thing, walk around together. Not do our thing like that, but like walk around together while my sister was clothes shopping. When guys that I would talk to or date would DoorDash me food and it would like have the name on the bag, or my parents would look at my cards and see that I hadn't bought anything, I would just say that like my homegirl had a gift card and she had bought me food so we could eat together on the phone. A bullshit excuse like that, but they believed it. To get past the outfits, I feel like this is a really basic one, but I would just bring a different change of clothes with me. I would take whatever I wanted to wear to school. If I was going to go to my friend's house and we're going to wear something different now, I would just go to my friends in my PJs and then wear whatever outfit I wanted once we left. I had started smoking dispos to like, it was helping me stay more relaxed because there was a lot going on at home, as you guys can tell from the last 2 videos. But like to just like calm myself down, take the edge off, I would start smoking wax, cool, whatever. To get past that, the Clear Eyes eye drops for redness, those work the best. And then if I was like acting off, I have a condition that makes my cramps really bad, and then headaches are followed by it. So I would just always say, oh, I have a headache, my cycle's coming, or I'm on my cycle. My ex-best friend was getting abused by her father, but like physically abused. And when I would skip class and my parents would question me as to why I skipped class, if I did get caught, because I was really slick, I'm telling y'all, I was slick. But if I did get caught, I would just say that she had got into it with her dad really bad and I was comforting her, being a good friend, because my grades were good. So if I was skipping class, I wasn't missing anything. To get past the thing with the Wi-Fi, I would just put my phone on airplane mode and then do whatever I was going to do.
So I walk in my room, and my TV's gone. My Alexa's gone. All my clothes are on my bed. She took away my laundry basket. There is food, like popcorn, all over the ground. She searched my backpack. Like, everything is out. Like, I come home to my room being trashed, and I swear to God, I did not do anything. Like, I literally forgot to put the dishes up because...
If you're the child of extremely strict immigrant parents, you need to learn to stop asking for permission and start asking for forgiveness. Me doing this is how I managed to escape home to go to college. Let me tell you how. Okay, so basically I was raised by, extremely strict immigrant parents, like Haitian immigrant parents, right? And they have this one popular phrase called l'école la caille l'église, which means school, home, church. You do not go anywhere else. You do not do anything else. And my parents were even strict to the point where they would be like I wasn't even allowed to play with my cousins that much, okay? They literally isolated me as much as they freaking could, to the point where I ran away from home at the age of 8 to escape. They caught me though, but it's fine. Ever since the day I came back home, to all of middle school, all of high school, the one thing had always been on my mind. I'm like, yes, I'm stuck here. Yes, for now, I can't do anything about it, but there was going to be a point where I received something known as a high school diploma. And with this diploma, I will have my ticket to freedom, okay? I will be able to go to a college far, far away, and I will not have to deal with this any longer, okay? So boom, so I was just doing that. I was like, you know, like and I'm telling you, anytime I was like struggling with an assignment, and, oh my god, I'm so lazy, like I don't want to work on this assignment, like I'm bored, like, oh, so that means you want to stay here forever. And I was like, never mind, y equals mx plus a squared, to Martin Luther King, yep. I literally, it was like a little boost. I was like, ooh, like I was like, girl, like hurry up, you gotta go, you have to leave, you have to escape. So boom, so now I'm 18, right? I'm going to FIU. Now FIU is in Miami, where my family lives. My family's thinking, oh my god, we're so good, like she's gonna stay here, whatever, she's gonna be here for the next 4 years. Yet I had just gotten into the spring program of the school that I applied to that was 4 hours away from home, and I was like, that is what was happening, okay? I was literally attending FIU for like a couple of months. No hate to FIU, I'm sure you're a great school, but you were in Miami, and Miami was where I was trying to escape. I'm sorry. So I was ready to leave. I was ready to go Panthers, though. Go Panthers, you slay. Anyway, but yeah, I was ready to go, right? But I knew my family. I'd been around my family for so many years. I knew I couldn't tell them that I was planning to leave because I knew they would stop me in some way. So what I did was I had a job, right? I picked up as many shifts as I could. Who's available to work next Tuesday? Me. Who can work for 4 extra hours? Me. Because I wanted to work as much as possible. Whole time I'm at this job, as soon as I get home, I'm on Indeed, trying to find a job in the city that I'm moving to, and I get one. Okay, so now I need a place to stay. So now I'm looking through all these online student forums, and then boom, got an apartment. Next thing. The funniest thing is the fact that I literally had a family member that lived in that area, so it could have probably helped me to get like a really good deal or like a really good place, but I did not want to risk telling anybody about the fact that I planned to move, because if on the off chance they were a little blabbermouth and they opened their mouth and told my parents I was planning to leave, my whole plan ruined. So I enrolled in school in secret. I got a job in secret. I got an apartment in secret. And then I'm not even kidding you, like, was it not like 2 weeks before I was ready to go, I just go to my family and I'm just like, hey, I'm leaving soon. I have an apartment. I have a job. I've already enrolled in the school. I got all my transfer credits. I made sure all my grades here were like straight A's so I could go smoothly. And I'm so sorry I'm telling you this so late, but I'm about to go. And all of a sudden, here it comes. Certain members of my family guilt tripping the absolute hell out of me, being like, you can't leave. Like you need to be here. Like, we need you here. Like, you can't leave. Like, guilt tripping me. Like, I felt so bad. I literally had to go to someone at my church and be like, I feel so bad. Like, I want to go to college, but they're telling me I can't leave because they need me here, whatever. My church leader had to sit me down and be like, honey, they're adults. You're a child. You're 18. Go to college. They don't need you. And I was like, yeah, you're right. They don't need me. Sorry, this is getting way too long. Please go to part 2. Part 2 of the story time of me escaping home at 18. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Like, I like you don't need me here. Like, I'm going. And they realize that I'm not budging. Like, for the first time ever, I'm like fully putting my foot down. Like, I don't care what you want me to do. This is what I want to do. So whether you're with me or you're not, either way, I'm gone. I'm gonna pull the I'm 18 card. I'm 18. I made my own money. I saved it up. I got the apartment. I got the job. But y'all, this right here, this pissed me off. They then, like, last ditch effort, like literally like a week before I was about to go, they had like an older male relative of mine sit me down and tell me, Furley, you're not going. I was like, I'm sorry, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm not going? Like, your life here is fine, okay? Things are great. You have the school here, you have the car here, like, you're fine, your life is good, like, you don't need to leave, and you're not going to leave. We're not letting you. We're not letting you leave. Oh. You're not letting me? So after all these years of me dreaming of what it would be like to leave, to be gone, to be free, I worked my butt off to save all this money, to do what I needed to do, to make sure I could make it possible for myself. And you think that you just telling me you're not going to leave is going to make me be like, oh my God, what was I thinking? You're right. You're totally right. Girl, when I tell you this entire time, like, I am fuming. This man is like telling me, like, you're not leaving, you're not going, whatever. I was so angry, y'all. I was like, I fought so hard for this, and you have the fucking audacity to tell me that I don't have the right to it. Yo, I was ready to set the house on fire, but I was like, no. You know what? No. Let me Michael Scofield prison break this. Like, hold on. So, like, if, like, when they're gone, they leave, either when they're asleep or when they're at work, I'm gonna take my clothes. I can go to a motel for the next few days, or maybe I can put my stuff in storage, and then I can go. Like, I'm like, you are not about to stop me. Like, after all of this work I just did, you really, you're gonna, no, are you crazy? And I think someone, like, talked to them. I think they were just like, you're gonna, like, lose access to her, like, completely. if you keep trying to like force things on her. So I think you should just cool down, back up, let her vibe, right? Because yeah, eventually like they left me alone and I was like, perfect, good. Because if I had to leave like a thief in the night, I would have done it. But either way, I was gonna leave. I was gonna leave. So yeah, my family eventually just like gave in and they were like, I guess be free. And they took me and they helped me and whatever. And that was great. And what I loved was that a couple years later, I was going to go study abroad, right? And now this is like the point where like my family's kind of more used to like me and like how I move and how I do things and how I just do things without asking for permission anymore. So I was getting ready to study abroad in South Korea, right? And I was out with my mom, and so one of her older friends saw us out. My mom told her like, oh yeah, she's getting ready to like go to Korea or whatever. And her friend was like, oh, just like all the way over there, epi wapkite, like you're just gonna let her? Which first of all, don't woman. Yeah, but then my mother looked to this lady and she was just like, there's nothing you can tell this girl. If she wants to do something, you can't tell her nothing. She's just gonna go and do it. And I just looked at my mom at that moment and I saw her character development and I was so proud. No, my family did eventually, I was like, no, I am hard-headed. I'm going to do what I want. So trying to control me is not gonna stop me. It's only gonna push me further. So yeah, don't ask your strict parents for permission. Handle what you gotta handle and then ask for forgiveness later. They'll still love you, but you know, you have to do what you had to do.
If you have strict parents and your life feels like a constant battle between your happiness and their happiness, you should definitely sit down and watch this video because I am about to give you the best advice that you will ever receive for free on how to take back control of your situation. And this is definitely not about the type of strict, if you like have a curfew or like you just have to do your chores before you go out. I am talking about the type of parents who actively use their emotional and financial power advantage over you to basically manipulate, control your life choices, abuse you, and just force you to take all of that. Now, before I get into this, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. Obviously, everyone's life situation is different, so before you guys take any actions, please thoroughly consider any consequences they may have. Now, there are like 3 phases to this method, but the first and most important one is getting your parents to take you seriously. Like, they need to know that you are not a pushover and that you are serious and will stand up for what you believe in. And with manipulative people, the more and more you feed into their delusions, you're just building up that delusion of you being their perfect child, and in turn, that's going to make it harder and harder for you to tear that down once you decide that you can't do this anymore. Many of us are raised with the expectation that we can't talk back or express our emotions and opinions in an argument, and because of that, it's basically caused us to not be able to do any of that in an argument in our real lives as an adult without melting down. But in order for this to work, we're gonna have to unlearn this, so repeat after me, guys. I always have the right to tell someone how I feel, regardless of their reaction. Now, if you've had a firm conversation with your parents and you really stood your ground about, what you want to do, regardless of what that is, they should be able to see your perspective and at least try to think about it, if they're good people, that is. Now, if that didn't work, it's definitely time to move on to phase 2, which is analyzing your parents' manipulation tactics and trying to find a way to use them against them. This could be things like guilt trapping, crying, just making them feel like shit for treating you how they do, but doing it in a way where they will actually feel guilty in the same way that they make you feel guilty for things. So let me give you an example. Your parents never let you go out and you really want to go to this social event next week. And so all you have to do is this week cry about not having any friends, nobody likes you, not getting invited to stuff. And then next week, just say like, you finally got invited to something. And if they say no, you can further manipulate them by saying this is why no one wants to hang out with you. Sadly, if this doesn't work either, it's time to move on to phase 3, which is preparing to move out. And I, by no means, am advising you guys to move out. I'm just telling you to slowly take your time, save up money, do your research on getting an apartment, do your research on filing taxes, and just general adult responsibilities. And so when the time comes, you'll be fully prepared to move out and take that opportunity. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped, and I hope it's able.
If you got strict parents, let me tell you something, baby. It's not gonna stop. You think it's gonna stop. I was waiting, kept getting older. I thought it was gonna stop. It's not gonna stop, baby. You gotta rip it out of their hands. You have to rip the freedom right out of their hands. You have to literally do something so insane to the point where they're so disappointed that they just stop giving a fuck. No, but I'm being so dead ass. Stop stop waiting for the moment to come. Harriet Tubman had to take it.
Okay, I want to talk about people that had strict parents, okay? Especially, so I grew up Asian household, okay? Like, even like more of a Christian household. We weren't like super Christian though. Immigrant family. And I've heard so many of my friends talk about how their families are the way that my parents used to be. And I'm in a whole different place now, okay? So my parents used to be so strict. Like, there's a point where I couldn't have sleepovers. I couldn't stay out past like 10, 11 p.m. They questioned like who I was with, where I'm going, when I'm be back, like all the time. If I didn't answer their phone call, like it was life was over for me. And now I have a nose piercing. I fought for this. I have like 8, 9 tattoos. I don't have a curfew. I can sleep over somewhere whenever I want. I can leave the house whenever I want. I can come home whenever I want. And yes, I am 21. I'm an adult. But there were times when I was still like 18 and over, and I still had very helicoptery parents and everything. And I know so many people that are over 21 that have parents like this if you're still living under their roof. And I understand, right? There's a certain level of respect and like there should be compromise made. But you know, I really fought for myself, man. That's where I love my stubbornness. I can go more into detail. Please leave in the comments like certain situations that happened because I've been through a lot, okay? Like I've had a lot of experience and I had a crazy fucking era and I was doing crazy stuff and out. Like, trust me, okay? Like I get you guys, okay? So please leave in the comments if you guys want to know about like a certain situation and how to get out of it. But it took so many conversations. And when I say not just conversations, especially when you grew up in more of a toxic family environment where healthy conversations weren't normal, there were so many times that I lied to my parents from where I was going. There were so many times that I'd have sit down conversations with them about boundaries. Now they don't barge into my room anymore. They gotta knock and I gotta respond, yes. How did I get to that point? And like I have such a good relationship with my parents now. Obviously we have like little small things, but like it's so good now. I'm not gonna lie, like I just had to keep making them mad. Like my mom got mad every time I got like a new tattoo. Like I keep going bigger too. But then she got to a point where she knew like she can't control me because I'm gonna get them anyways, even if she gets mad. This nose piercing, guys, I'm telling you guys, when I fought for this was it brought up old trauma. We went back to the past, guys. I had to have like serious conversations with them and it was so much screaming, a lot of crying, a lot of craziness. A lot of trauma resurfacing, a lot of the past coming up and talking about the past, but you have to talk about it in order to move forward in the future. And I had to really stick to my boundaries and I had to be vulnerable too. I had to explain why I want this and why I feel this way. And I had to say no. And they didn't like it at first, you know? Like my mom makes fun of me. She'd be like, when she pretends to be me, she goes, no. And I'm like, I only say that when you disrespect my boundaries. But you have to speak up. You have to be vulnerable. You have to have uncomfortable conversations. You have to be your own person, stand up for yourself to make this happen.